So in case you guys didn't keep up with the news, patch 1.1.2 came out like today or yesterday, whatever, and it fixed all the duplication exploits everyone was using, weapon dupes, everything. But there is a new way to dupe, and that's what I'm going to show you today. So in order to do the new one, though, it's going to suck, and it's going to be really annoying and hard to do, and it's not going to be even close to as fast as it used to be. So I highly recommend, if you somehow haven't installed 1.1.2 yet, don't install it. But anyway, let's go ahead and go to this new dupe. So in the new one, you have to go over here to Tari Town, and up in this corner right here, and you'll go up here, and there's this shop where you can break things apart. Now, this is what we need in order to dupe things. To do this, you're going to need shields, okay? You're going to need shields that don't have anything attached to them. You only need 2. Maybe you could be better. Maybe you could do this with 3 or 4. I haven't tried it, but let's just say you need 2, okay? So 2 shields. Then you're going to need the item you're going to dupe, and it's going to get really complicated with a lot of button inputs. So I've got some advice on how to help, but it's always going to be annoying. It's not as good as the old dupes, which sucks, but that's how it's going to be. So let's start with the most generic of all things to dupe, this diamond. We're going to drop the diamond on the ground. Okay, so now what you're going to do is you're going to make sure that you have a shield equipped. Pick whatever shield you want. I'm going to pick this Zonite shield. Doesn't matter what it is. Just has to have nothing fused to it. Then what you're going to do is you're going to bring up this menu by holding L, and you're going to select the fuse. So it'll get something like this. Now, here's where things get complicated. There's a lot of things you have to do. So if you have the normal Switch controllers, which the 2 that you can separate, that's what I prefer here. And I just hold both hands on the left, like the left controller. I just let go of the right controller, set it on my table. Hold the left controller, because we're going to need L, ZL, and we're going to need a D-pad, and they're really hard to do. So we're going to hold this button, okay? And right before it pops up, we're going to press ZL to fuse the shield. And when we do that, we're going to hold both buttons. You don't just press ZL, you hold ZL, you hold L, whatever. So we're going to hold L, and then right before this pops up, press and hold ZL. And keep in mind that this is delayed. So you hold L, and it doesn't pop up for like 200 milliseconds or something. So there's going to be a delay in pressing ZL as well. You don't just L and ZL. You L and then wait, and then press ZL right before it pops up. So if you're too late, it'll be like L, ZL, nothing happens. Then you let go ZL, L. But if you're too early, that's bad. Which is why you also want to, pick up your diamond if it's on the ground and save the game. Make a hard save here so you don't have to pull them apart over and over again. So now what we're going to do is we're going to pop this up with L. And right before it pops up, I'm going to ZL, okay? So L and ZL. Like that. And you'll notice that last frame there, it just went to my shield, onto my back, right? But it hasn't finished the fuse process yet because I popped this menu up so fast. Now for the tricky part. I'm holding L, I'm holding ZL, which is, the ZL to fuse it with the shield. I'm holding L to bring up this menu. I'm going to let go of both those at the same time. And then I'm going to press left on the D-pad. Now, for me, I actually kind of just fast press, press left on the D-pad as fast as I can until it pops up and then hold. But I don't know, it's sketchy to try to do it that way. So we're going to try it that way, though. So I'm going to let go of L and ZL and start spamming left on the D-pad, then hold it when I see it pop up. There we go, something like that. And so then it should pop up the shields without leaving the menu. Again, in order to do this more easily, I'm literally holding the left Switch controller with both hands right now because it's easier to do it with both hands on it so that we have enough fingers and space and leverage to not throw the controller out of your hand when trying to hold 3 buttons. Anyway, so now that we're in here, we're going to swap to another shield. So now I can carefully grab my other Switch controller and then press right on its thumbstick or left to go to one of these other shields. We'll go to the Lionel shield. And then I'm going to let go of left on the D-pad to swap to this Lionel shield now. So we just let go of everything. And now what happens is if we look at our shields, it fused it to the Lionel shield, not the Zonite shield. And it also dropped it. But we're not done yet because if you try to do it, you got to do something in order to finalize this, basically. I forgot to mention, you're also going to need an unfused weapon. You can use a stick. You can use literally anything. In my case, I'll use this Royal Claymore. So we're going to equip that, and now we're going to fuse the duped item, which is the second diamond. We're going to fuse that to the Royal Claymore. Because that diamond shield is equipped right now. Don't want to touch it. You just want to put it on this Claymore instead. So now we've got a diamond Claymore, and we've got this diamond shield. Now that we have both those like that, they're both equipped, then we're going to save the game, and then we're going to load the game back like this. Pick the save we just made, and load it. And now that we've loaded it, it finalizes these things. So it writes it into memory. It says that we actually have both these objects with diamonds on them. And then we can come back in. And this is the part that's one thing that's going to suck about this is you have to break them apart using this guy, and that's 20 rupees. So we'll talk about that in a second, but there's only so many items that you want to dupe now, and I'll explain in a sec, but let's finish this off. So now we're going to have to talk to this guy in Tarrytown, or Tarrytown, whatever it's called, and then tell him that you want to break it down, and then pick the shield, and then I say go ahead, and then skip all this, and then it breaks them apart. Okay, now we can pick up the shield, pick up the diamond, and then we head over to him, and now we got to do the same thing for the sword as well. Break it down, and then swap over here and take the sword. Go ahead. Okay, and now we have 2 diamonds separated from the items. Just made 500 rupees. That's why I never picked up the Royal Claymore as its own separate item before. Okay, and now we have 2 more diamond, or well, 1 more diamond. Okay, so if you get really fast at this, it's still gonna suck. It's gonna be like a minute per dupe, which is why I want to talk to you about what you should and shouldn't dupe. So before it was dupe anything, right? Now I'd say the most important things that you're going to want to dupe are silver Lionel saber horns for your weapons, unless you have a master sword or some dupe, master sword from a previous glitch or whatever, and still have it, something like that, or some glitched ultimate weapon or something like that. Any normal weapons, though, you're just going to want to put this on it. So just duping these is good. And nowadays you'll actually have to come back to Tarrytown to take them off before your weapon breaks, instead of just, for me, I'll just keep duping them as I needed them. I don't know that I'll be doing that now, but you can at least duplicate, like, say, 8 of them or something, and then have 8 weapons, and then just come here once they're all almost broken, and then tear the item off of it, and do it that way to keep them up. Large zonite charges are okay in certain scenarios to do, but not really worth it. Large zonite, it's not really worth it anymore. It's like, it might be faster than mining large zonite, but it's gonna be a similar amount of time, so you might as well just go mine the zonite, so use the normal zonite as well. Diamonds are definitely still worth it. It's still probably going to be the fastest way to get rupees in the game is by just duping diamonds. It's still going to be faster than running around the car picking items up. It's going to be faster than farming the moose and stuff up in the snow area. It's probably going to be fastest way to make rupees still. And so then other than that, it's going to be anything that's extremely rare that you want just an extra of for some reason, that you could still dupe with things. I mean, you can't dupe fairies, which is unfortunate, but you really have something that you want a second copy of that's kind of rare. I can't even think of an item to be rare enough to be worth it. But that would be the type of thing that you'd want to do then. So I know it kind of stinks if you haven't downloaded 1.1.2 yet and you have the option to not install it, just don't install it, because then you'll just have the dupes. It's unfortunate really that they fixed these types of dupes. I mean, I kind of expected it from a company like Nintendo, but it's similar to when Cyberpunk had a bunch of glitches, and it's like, in my opinion, if the glitch is as hard to do as the dupes were in this game, that means the only people doing it were people who were looking it up and doing that for fun in a single player game. I kind of really wish the people, like game companies, would just leave the ones like that and then just fix the ones that are actually annoying. Like, you talk to a quest giver and it soft locks your game or something like that. I'll obviously fix those as fast as possible, but it is what it is. It's Nintendo. Kind of expect it from them. So even this one will probably get fixed eventually. So you'll want to just go ahead and use it while you still can if you have 1.1.2. And if you don't have 1.1.2, go use the other one and enjoy it, and don't install a new version for as long as possible, basically, is the verdict from now. But yeah, I'll keep you guys up to date on dupes and stuff. I got another one coming out later today, another version we can do, and some other farming route for something related to it. But that's it, guys. That is the new dupe. It's kind of unfortunate, and if new things come up, I'll keep you guys in the loop and I'll post about it. But now you know the new way, not as good way, but the only way right this second of how to dupe in Legend of Zelda Tears of the Kingdom version 1.1.2.